A very good morning. Welcome to this edition of News for the Hearing Impaired. I'm Rukma and with me is Manisha. Let's begin with the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi presents roadmap for development of Jammu and Kashmir after revocation of Article 370. In an address to the nation, PM calls upon people to build a new Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh along with a new India. Expressing confidence in capabilities of people of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, Prime Minister Modi assures people that the situation will become normal very soon and their problems will be resolved. Says the government is making all efforts to ensure that people in J&K face no problem in celebrating Eid. Prime Minister Modi appeals to all stakeholders to keep national interest as first priority and join hands in development of Jammu and Kashmir. Says there will be ample employment opportunities for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Nation's highest civilian honor, Bharat Ratna, conferred on former President Pranab Mukherjee, social worker Nanaji Deshmukh, and celebrated musician Bhupen Hazarika. Deshmukh and Hazarika were given the award posthumously. Cabinet Secretary chairs meeting of National Crisis Management Committee to review flood situation in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala and Gujarat. Preparedness, rescue and relief operations reviewed. 55 NDRF teams already deployed in flood-hit states along with Army, Navy and Coast Guard personnel to carry out relief and rescue work. In international news, US President Donald Trump accuses French President Emmanuel Macron of sending mixed signals to Tehran over possible talks, says no one is authorized to speak to Iran on behalf of the United States. In sports, first one-day international between India and West Indies ends in no result due to heavy rains in Guyana. Second match of the three-match ODI series to be played on Sunday. And now for our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation for the first time after abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir yesterday, assuring people of the two new union territories of the start of a new era. He promised to hold elections in Jammu and Kashmir in a fair and transparent manner at the earliest. The PM also said that the status of union territory to J&K is temporary. Appreciating the efforts of people of the valley for standing up against terrorism and separatism fueled by Pakistan, PM Modi assured them that their problems and grievances will be addressed on priority. Emphasizing on his development motto, Prime Minister Modi said that the development of the nation is synonymous with the development of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. He urged them to not only contribute towards building a new India but also towards developing a new Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday assured the people of Jammu and Kashmir that the government is ensuring they do not face any difficulties in celebrating Eid on the 12th of August. PM Modi also said the government is providing all possible help to those from J&K who live elsewhere and want to return home to celebrate the festival. Extending Eid greetings to the people, the Prime Minister assured people of Jammu and Kashmir that the situation will gradually return to normal and their difficulties will ease. Describing J&K as the crown of India, PM Modi said change can be brought about there. The Prime Minister said it is very natural in a democracy that some people are in favor of this decision and some have differences over it. He said he respected differences as well as their objections. Urging critics to keep national interest paramount, he said that everyone must help the government give Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh a new direction. PM Modi also said that there will be ample employment opportunities for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and the focus must be on development. Three exceptional leaders who changed the face of the nation: former President Pranab Mukherjee, social activist Nanaji Deshmukh, and musician and director Bhupen Hazarika, were conferred with India's highest honour, the Bharat Ratna, by President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan. President Kovind gave the award to Mukherjee, Hazarika's son Tej, and Vikramjit Singh, a close relative of Deshmukh, at a function held at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Hazarika and Deshmukh were given the Bharat Ratna posthumously. With these three recipients, 48 eminent people have been conferred the Bharat Ratna so far. The National Crisis Management Committee yesterday reviewed the flood situation in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala and Gujarat. The NCMC, chaired by Cabinet Secretary P.K. Sinha, took stock of the current situation, preparedness and rescue and relief operations. It also directed that immediate assistance as sought by the states be provided to meet the crisis. The Met Department has predicted that more rains will occur in Gujarat, Maharashtra and coastal Karnataka over the next 2 days. The NCMC directed to release necessary advance from the State Disaster Response Fund to the affected states. Concerned agencies were also advised to undertake immediate work relating to crop insurance claims. And floods have affected several parts of Maharashtra, throwing normal life out of gear. Kolhapur, Sangli, Satara and surrounding areas have received very heavy rains in the past few days, leading to flood-like situation. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis reviewed the flood situation in the state yesterday. He also chaired a meeting at Kolhapur with various officials and agencies to review the flood situation in Kolhapur, Sangli and Satara. The Chief Minister added that Union Home Minister Amit Shah has assured of all assistance to the state, and he himself talked to Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yedurappa on Almaty discharge. Nearly 2,03,000 people have been rescued and saved, while more than 28,000 animals have been shifted to safer locations. 267 temporary camps have been set up across flood-affected areas. In Karnataka, nearly 45,000 people have been evacuated from flood-hit areas. Incessant rains in various parts of the state have left 12 out of 30 districts and 51 talukas affected. Nearly 17,000 people have taken shelter in relief camps. Teams of NDRF, Army, Navy and Air Force are involved in relief operations. Currently, there are 10 NDRF teams in the state, while 5 more are reaching to pace up rescue and relief operations. All the NDRF teams would be airlifted to Hubli. The state government has requested 4 additional teams. 2 helicopters have been deployed for relief operations and 1 more has been requested by the state. According to the state government, adequate arrangements for health facilities, drinking water, food items and electricity have been made. Chief Minister visited flood-affected areas and met the victims. A year after the devastating deluge of 2018, Kerala is once again being battered by heavy rains, with landslips and floods wreaking havoc, claiming 8 lives on Thursday, while over 9,500 people have been shifted to relief camps. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan yesterday night held a meeting with government and state disaster management authority officials and said a serious situation prevails in parts of the state, especially in Wayanad. NDRF and army teams are undertaking rescue operations in some parts. Universities across the state scheduled for today have been postponed. IMD has forecast heavy to very heavy rains at a few places, with extremely heavy falls very likely at isolated places over Kerala. If Brussels does not show flexibility on amending the terms of Britain's withdrawal from the European Union, it will have to take responsibility for a no-deal scenario. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has previously warned the European Union on repeated occasions that unless it agrees to do a fresh divorce deal, he will lead the country out of the bloc on October 31st without a deal. In cricket, Indian skipper Virat Kohli won the toss and decided to bowl in the first ODI, which was delayed due to rain against the West Indies of the 3-match series at Providence Stadium in Guyana. However, due to rains, the match was reduced to 43 overs each at first. West Indies were 54 for 1 in 13 overs after a second rain interruption in a stop-start first one-dayer against India. And that's all in this edition of News for the Hearing Impaired. Namaskar.
डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी और प्रसार भारती दूरदर्शन अब लाए हैं डीडी